welcome back to Peachy Pilates. Today's workout is called our slow flow. In reality, we're just focusing on intentional movements that are really going to help us sculpt and shape the bodies that we've always wanted. You won't need any additional props for this one, just your mat. And we're going to start here on our knees. Now, if kneeling is not something that feels comfortable for you, this first set of work can be done standing or sitting. I'll just let you know when we're eventually going to come up to our knees if you're doing one of those other modifications. We're just going to start with some big, nice, deep breaths. As you breathe in, can you reach both hands all the way up high towards the sky? Feel your ribs lift up off your hips. And then breathe out, bring your shoulders down, bring those hands right back down. 3 more like that. Breathing in, reach tall, grow tall in your spine. And then breathe out, feel as connected as ever. Feel your rib cage knit, knit, knit. Breathing in, nice and tall. Letting that all go. Filling up with air. And then on this next one, you're just going to reach your hands up over high, leave them up towards the sky. And we're just going to start to take our arms open like a nice big T. Energy out those fingertips. Take a peek at those hands. Really reach those fingertips long and wide, and then bring your arms right back up overhead. Can you do your best to try to pull your shoulders down your back? Feel that engagement here on the way open, and then right back up without those shoulders coming into your ears. If you need a little micro bend in your elbows, you need a little micro bend in your elbows. I want you to find that form. The strength surrounding your shoulders, the work coming from your powerhouse, from your torso, and then doing your best to pull your belly button towards your spine. Notice a difference in your movements when you do so. We're going to do 3 more like this. Nice big overhead reach. And then after this third one, you can just hold those arms in a nice big T. You're going to turn your palms to face down towards the ground. Squeeze all 5 fingertips together on both sides. Send your shoulders down your back. You're going to start to take a little chop. You're going to bend your elbows so that your fingertips come in towards your collarbone, and then just shoot those arms out wide. So it's like a little baby bicep curl here. Exhale each time you squeeze those fingertips in. And then you're going to notice your shoulders get tired pretty quickly here, keeping your elbows lifted. Not quite so easy for the tops of those shoulders. So just sculpting those nice, beautiful upper bodies that we're looking for, but also focusing on our posture while we're sitting, kneeling, standing, or whatever variation we're taking. Nice big exhale as you keep this chop going. Try to keep the upper half of your arms still. We're here for 3. After that third one, arms go out nice and wide, and you're going to start to bend, make a 90-degree angle with both arms. So I'm like almost a goalpost here. Boy, are those shoulders already getting tired. We're going to take what I like to call robot arms. From here, you're just going to turn your arms so that your palms face down towards the ground, and then turn your arms so that your palm face back towards the screen. As you rotate here, listen to your body. Only as much rotation as feels okay for your shoulders on either side, and both sides might feel different depending on how our rotator cuffs are shaped there. Exhaling as those arms come up so you can keep your core engaged, and so that you can focus on your back. We're just going to do 3 more of these. You're going to hold those fingertips up nice and high on this third one. You're going to reach your arms out wide, almost like a letter Y. So you're going up to a diagonal. Your elbows are going to start to bend like a letter W. Think about gluing them together all the way back behind you. Reach, reach, reach to that Y, and then down to that W. So we're going from our Y to our W, and we're trying to glue those shoulder blades together back behind us. Can you exhale each time your elbows come in? There's the work. We want to focus on that squeeze, opening up our collarbone, opening up our chest, finding as much long length as we can, reaching the top back part of our head up towards the sky, finding that long spine, that long neck. You've got 4 of these. Beautiful. 3 of these. Gorgeous. 2 of these. And then after this last one, you're going to hold your arms in this nice tall letter Y. From here, I'm going to rise up high on my knees. If you're not on your knees, here's where you're going to come to them. And then both hands are going behind my head. Little side bends. Think right elbow towards the right side of my mat. Now, don't lose that connection under your left knee. Try to keep your lower body still by thinking about your inner thighs drawing towards one another. My heart, my chest stays open. and I come right back up where I started. Same thing over to the other side, up and over, side bend. Right knee stays heavy this time. Keep my heart open, and then come right back up. You're just gonna transition from side to side. Inhale, bend. Exhale, come on up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, come on up. Imagine there's a pane of glass right in front of you and right behind you. Your goal is not to smudge that pane of glass. So we keep our elbows as wide as we possibly can and really pull our navel towards our spine so that our hips don't start to rotate. Expand the muscles between your ribs as you breathe in. This is allowing bigger, deeper, more connected breaths. We're just going to do one more of these on each side. And then our arms are finally getting a break. You can rest them down, give those shoulders a couple rolls back. I'm going to turn to face towards the side on this one. You want to have a lot of mat in front of you for the next exercise. So if you need to adjust where you're at on your mat, go ahead and do so as well. We're still on those knees. You're going to bring your arms out in front of you like a letter O. Hips, low body, still completely steady like they're in concrete. Can you press down with the tops of your feet, engage your glutes a little bit. From here, pull your navel in, send your shoulders down your back. We're just going to start with a little spine twist. Heart twists over to the right, back to center, heart twists over to the left, back to center. Now make sure your hands and your heart stay in line with one another so your hands aren't moving without your chest and your chest isn't moving without your hands. So really intentional, really engaged, trying to keep both hip bones pointing straight forward like two headlights here facing towards that forward direction. Now we're going to start to build on this, adding a little combo. What you're going to do is twist one time in each direction, over to the right, over to the left. You're going to engage your core, come all the way down to your hands. You're on all fours. And then you're going to pulse one leg up for two little donkey kicks. 1, 2. Bring that knee down. Pop back up. Use your core. Twist to the right. Twist to the left. Come back to all fours. Donkey kick on that other side. Pulse 1, 2. So as you start to get the hang of this pattern, your brain is going to want to take over, and you're going to kind of lose control, head into momentum. Your goal is to stay as engaged as possible throughout this entire combination. As you lift back up high to those knees, use that pressure of your hands and float from the strength in your core. So trying to move with intention through every ounce of this move, trying to move with engagement through every ounce of this move. So one of our Pilates principles is concentration. The more you concentrate on what your body is doing, the better workout your muscles are going to get, and the more they can support you in your everyday life. So we want that support in our everyday life so that we don't get things like unnecessary injuries. Exhale, exhale, little pulse. You've got one more on each side. Twisting. Little pulse. 1, 2. Little pulse. 1, 2. From here, stay on your hands and your knees. We're just going to take a little cat-cow stretch. Exhale, fold, look between those legs, send the back of your belly button towards the sky. And then inhale, drop to extension. Head, tailbone up, high, high, high. Exhale to curl, engage your core, feel your ribs and hips glued together. And inhale to stretch, think heart towards the front side of your mat. 2 more rounds of this. And then after this last round, I'm going to find neutral spine, and I'm going to bring my left forearm across down onto the mat. So across that short end of the mat it's lining up with, and your right palm is going to stay so you can start to kind of twist your body over towards that right side. Keep that right knee bent. You're just going to lift it up towards the right side and then lower it right back down. Lift it up and lower it down. So you might know this move as a fire hydrant here, kind of lifting that knee up, feeling that side of your glute squeeze. It's similar to that donkey kick pulse that we just did before, but this time out to the side, you're just going to feel different muscles working. So instead of that big juicy meaty muscle in the back of that peach, it's the side here, finding that rotation so that we can work in all directions. Now, like we talked about at the start of class, we're super intentional with these moves. So exhale, work with control, and find the pace, the range that works for you. It doesn't have to be super quick to be effective. We're going to start to alternate. You're going to take a little pulse up in this fire hydrant, come back in, and pulse up to that donkey kick. So you're going out to the side, and then up to the sky, out to the side, and then up to the sky. Can you pull your belly button towards your spine so much that you feel your hip flexor stretch in front of you as you lift your toe towards the ceiling? So almost try to tuck your tailbone under. Feel the difference as you move from here. We're going to do 2 more sets of this. Again, place those movements exactly where you want them. And then after this last one, you're going to kick that leg straight back behind you. Turn it out. Think Pilates V. You're going to take little pulses. Up an inch, down an inch. Up an inch, down an inch. Exhale each time you lift. And then from here, you're going to start to take it into a little tiny circle. Try to keep your hips still. Try to reach your leg even longer. Try to pull your shoulders down your back. And then reverse the direction of the circle you're drawing here. Remember, intention, slow with control. Reach, reach, reach. It's super, super tiny. We've got 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these. You're going to keep that leg straight and just drop your foot all the way down to the floor. I'm going to start to turn my bottom leg, that bent knee side, over to the left so that I can open up all the way into this supported side plank shape. So I'm reaching my top arm all the way up towards the sky. I'm still on that bottom knee, and then from here I'm just going to start to lift and lower that top leg, that straight leg. Now this time I'm parallel. My knee, my toe are facing straight forward as I move. And I'm thinking longer length in both sides of my torso. As relaxed as you can be in that neck. And then really think about pulling your belly button towards your spine. Fire up those glutes. Can you rotate that top hip just a tad bit more forward? You've got 4. You've got 3. You've got 2. You're going to let that foot come all the way down and then reach your top arm all the way towards the other side of the mat. As you reach towards that far end of the mat, can you almost lift your ribs up towards the sky? Feel this big side bend. You're almost like a rainbow shape and arc shape. Extended mermaid stretch. This should feel really, really good. Take 2 breaths. And then after that second breath, you can slowly drop your hip down, drop your arm down, and we're going to make our way right back to all 4s. So we're coming to our hands and our knees. Now before we do the second side, we're just going to do a little bit of plank work here on our hands and our knees, finding some engagement in those deep layers of our core. So as best you can, strengthen your shoulders, engagement in your center. Imagine you're trying to balance a really, really hot cup of coffee up on your tailbone here. Make sure your toes are tucked under this time, so your feet are flexed. All you're going to do is hover your knees 1 inch up, and then set them right back down. 1 inch up, and set them right back down. As you take these knee hovers, every single time you exhale, I want you to think about tightening the strings on a corset around your waist. Feel the difference when you do so. Lift from your abs, as opposed to from that momentum, like we've been talking about all class, nice and intentional. Next time those knees are up, they're going to stay up. You're going to open your knees, heels click together, Pilates V, and then bring it right back to parallel. Open those knees, Pilates V, and then right back to parallel. As you externally rotate, try to keep those knees hovering in both directions. Try to keep that hot cup of coffee balanced on your tailbone. Side of your glutes, active, active. Outer thighs, active, active. You've got just 3. Just 2. And then after this one, go ahead and set those knees down, untuck those toes, and we're going to drop our right forearm down across the mat so that we're turning to face slightly towards that left side of the mat. We're going to start with your fire hydrant on this side. Your left knee opens up to the left and then lowers right back down. So your weight does sort of come over past that right knee, that right hip. A lot of times I tell you not to sink into that opposite hip. On this work, you do want to sink into that opposite hip. Activating your core as best you can. Tricky part about this side is that those muscles you just worked in those knee hovers are super, super tired already as you come into this fire hydrant. The muscles are very small, so they get tired quickly, you feel them quickly, they feel like they're getting sore while you're still in the middle of the work. Next time that knee's open, we're going to pause with that knee open, start to alternate between your donkey kick and your fire hydrant. So out to the side, up to the sky, out to the side, and up to the sky. Engage as best you can, belly button towards your spine. As that knee lifts up, try to tuck your tailbone under and feel a stretch in the front of your hip flexor. You'll feel your big glute maximus squeeze there. We're doing 3 of these. 2 of these. Keep on breathing for me. After your last one, we kick that leg straight back. We turn it out. Think Pilates V. And we take a baby lift, a baby lower, a baby lift, a baby lower. So about an inch in either direction. Shoulders down your back. Neck is long. Can you keep that toe reaching even further and start to draw the tiniest ever little circle? Your circle is so tiny that you almost feel your hip shaking the whole entire time, quivering as you work deep into those muscles with intention. Focusing on those muscles we want to activate. Reverse your circle from here. Engage, reach longer, reach longer. You've got just 3, just 2. You get to drop this leg all the way down and start to turn, open up for your side plank. As you head into that side plank, reach your top arm towards the sky. You're going to start to take that top straight leg all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. So it's a larger range of motion than you just did in those little baby pulses. Obviously, you feel the difference. Exhale each time you lift. We're not doing very many of these. Think about lifting your obliques up, up, up. Lift them up even more on that next stretch. You know what's coming. We're here for 3, for 2. Bring that leg all the way down. Bring that top arm all the way up overhead. Try to reach for the top corner of the mat. Lift, lift, lift those obliques. Bigger, deeper breaths. Top ribs expanding. Intercostal muscles expanding. And then slowly come all the way down. And from here, we're just going to make our way to lie down on our back. Let's head into a little bit of abs. You're going to hug one knee all the way in towards your chest. Try to get that forehead as close as you can to it, and then send your other leg out nice and long towards the opposite side of the mat. The lower that straight leg is, the harder it makes it for your core. Work with that precision, with that intention. Take an inhale here, and then exhale. Can you just switch sides? Keep that torso rock solid, your powerhouse nice and solid. As you switch, can you keep your elbows out towards the side as you switch? Now think about pulling your shoulders down your back even more. And then I want you to take a peek at your pelvis as you move. The more you look up towards the ceiling, the more strain you're going to put on your neck. So we really want this to be about those abs, about our center, about our core. Switching from side to side here with that precision, moving slower, often even harder. Try to smash the back of your belly button down into the mat. And then next time your right leg is the straight one, you're going to hold that right leg nice and straight. From here, it's going to stay long. You're going to kick it up towards the sky, reach the back for the back of that right leg, and then kick your left leg out nice and long, heading into scissors. Pause here, and then same thing like you just did in single leg stretch, switch sides, keeping that torso rock solid. Try to pull your shoulders down your back, gaze at your pelvis while you move, and then double pulse from here. Pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch. As you pull, pull, see if you can get your forehead a little closer towards that top knee. So make it about your abs instead of about the backs of your legs. As you pull, pull, my chest gets closer to my leg instead of my leg closer to my chest. So just a little different here. You've got 2 more sets. 1 more set. And then hug both knees in and set your head down. Shake your head like you're saying no. Little tension is going to leave our head, neck, and chest. Both legs are going to come up to tabletop from here, and you're going to grab behind the backs of those thighs. So just underneath your knee on both sides. Teeny chest lift. Lift your abs, your head, your chest. And then from here, tiny pulses with your biceps. Bend those elbows a little bit more as your chest lifts an inch higher, and then an inch back down, and an inch higher, and an inch back down. Think about squeezing that upper front portion of your arm. Feel that activity in your biceps on both sides. Try to smash the back of your belly button down as much as you possibly can. Tiny, intentional little quiver here in either direction. We're going to do 4 more to the center, 3 more to the center, 2 more to the center, and then pause on 1. Both hands come over to the outside of that left leg. Little oblique pulses. Think right rib, left hip. Teeny tiny, an inch in either direction. Can you keep that right hip down? Can you keep that your hips, your pelvis totally still? Twisting that upper body. Right hip, right rib to that left hip. Pull your belly button in. You've got 3 on this side, 2 on this side. Switching sides from here, both hands up and over to the right. Might not look like much, but when you find it, boy, do you feel it. Pulling that belly button in, using that upper body to assist us. Deeper contraction of our core. We are here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those feet, drop those arms, drop your head, neck, and chest all the way down. We're going to start to articulate a nice big bridge. You'll pull your belly button towards your spine, fire up those glutes. Think about sending your sits bones closer together. Uppermost portion of our hamstring, engage as we roll those hips up nice and high. Think about your fingertips and your heels dragging towards one another. Big old stretch down the front surface, that core you just used, you just worked. 1 big inhale here. And then exhale, trickle all the way down your spine, bone by bone by bone. As slow as you can, as controlled as you can. Take the tension out of your neck. Release back to that neutral at the bottom. Big inhale. Just 2 more of those. Exhale, pull our navel down. Inner thighs turn on, backs of our thighs turn on. Peel away as slowly as you can, like you're stuck there to the mat. And then breathe in at the top and roll all the way back down, putting that Velcro back in its place, bone by bone by bone, finding that neutral at the bottom. Big inhale, and then on the exhale, you're rolling all the way back up. 1 last time. Once these hips are high, you're going to tuck your tailbone under a tiny bit more, a tiny bit more, a tiny bit more. Little baby pulses, pulling your hips closer towards your ribs, pulling your belly button in more towards your spine. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way down. You're going to send your legs, your arms long in 2 opposite directions. We're going to take 1 big roll up from here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, start to nod your chin. Arms come with you. Can they stay by your sides? Squeeze those legs as you peel away from the mat. And then reach forward all the way past those toes. Take a big inhale here. And then let those arms fall on either side of your legs, bending those elbows, sending your forehead closer toward those knees. And then you can sit up nice and tall. From here, I'm going to hug my knees all the way in towards my chest. You're going to take a couple rounds of rolling like a ball. Once those knees come in, float those ankles, those feet up away from the ground. Press your hands into your shins and your shins into your hands. Activate those abs, round your spine, and then start to lean back as you breathe in. Exhale, lift, try to balance. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, try to balance. Engage your core, keep it engaged this whole time, all the way back, all the way forward. Really press into those hands, pull your shoulders down your back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze at the top. You've got 4 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these. And then after this last one, try to balance for a second longer. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then you're going to open those legs, set them down like a nice big V, and walk those hands forward so that you're hanging out on those forearms. Release any tension in your quads and your thighs here. And then you're just going to walk those hands over to one leg. Little stretch here to end, side of our back. Feel that length. Try to drop your forehead down. Try to keep that opposite hip down. And then walk those hands all the way up and over to the other side. Exact same thing, forehead down, both hips down. Stretch the side of our back. And then walk back to center. Shake out your head. And you can sit up, up, all the way up. And I'll see you next time on the mat. Great work today.